Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison between the Samsung Sound Tower MX-ST50F and a JBL PartyBox 330. Now, the reason I decided to do this comparison is, first of all, because a lot of people thought that these speakers were very similar to each other. And being that Samsung does own JBL, some people thought that maybe the JBL PartyBox 330 was just a rebranded Samsung speaker. Now, let me just tell you, even though they both have 1-inch dome tweeters and they both have 6.5-inch woofers, that's pretty much where the similarities end between these speakers. So let's just go ahead and get started by powering them on and seeing which one turns on quicker. The power buttons here, 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, it's a tie. It's a tie, guys. I'm not sure which one's better. And now when you're going to go ahead and get connected to them in your device, this one's going to show up as the JBL PartyBox 330. Well, this one shows up a little bit strange as the AV Sound Tower 50F. Not really sure why. Let's go ahead and get paired to them. And when getting paired to them, you can actually just press the Bluetooth button on the JBL, but on the Samsung, you have to hold it down for 10 seconds in order for it to be ready to pair with your device. Once you're paired with it the first time, you don't have to do that every time, obviously. Okay, the Samsung just connected. There we go. We're connected on the JBL now. So the Samsung just makes like a very, very small little jingle there. The JBL has its normal classic JBL pairing sound. And now we're connected to both of them via Bluetooth. So next, we're going to take a look at the speakers. Starting with the fronts of the speakers, you'll notice that both speakers are roughly about the same size. However, the Samsung is just a bit taller, especially due to that handle. They also both have 1-inch dome tweeters. However, the 1-inch domes on the JBL are the pen domes, which were brought over from their concert series, and they're a lot more brighter and crisp than the ones that are on the Samsung. They also both have two 6.5-inch woofers. The JBL has a nice big badge there in the center, while the Samsung has a much smaller badge at the top. The Samsung also has that light bar under the handle, which adds a nice touch. Lots of LED lighting all around the front panel. The biggest difference here is going to be that on the Samsung, we have strobes at the top, the middle, and the bottom, versus on a JBL, it does have strobes that are built into the top and bottom LED light bars. On to the left side of the speakers, you'll notice that on the Samsung, we do have a pad on the top and the bottom. However, those pads you can't really use to lay them down on the sides because they're just like slippery plastic. They're not rubberized, so they just kind of let the speaker slide around. Versus on the JBL, there is no padding at all, but if the padding doesn't work, really what's the point? Onto the right-hand sides of the speakers, identical to the left. Nothing much to see here. Over onto the back panels, we have the handles up there at the top. The Samsung does have two handles, the one all the way at the top and then the telescopic handle, while the JBL just has the telescopic handle there. Right below that, we have the back panel. Now, both are IPX4 sealed, which is nice. However, you'll notice on the JBL, there is a light there at the top. That does come in very handy, especially if you're looking in the back panel in a darkened room. While they both have 1/4-inch mic and mic/guitar jacks, the biggest difference here is going to be the daisy chain ports. On the JBL, we have 3.5mm ports versus on a Samsung, they're actually using RCAs. But you can use those RCA jacks on a Samsung to also connect an external DJ board or something of that nature. We also have a multi-function USB-C port on the JBL, which allows you to charge your device and for playback of media. While on the Samsung, they have an older style USB-A port for charging your devices or playback of media via a thumb drive. Both speakers have a 3.5mm aux-in jack as well. The other notable difference here on the Samsung is you do have the stereo pairing button as well as Samsung's version of Auracast there at the top. One last difference you'll notice here in the back panel is on the JBL, you have an optical in case you wanted to use your speaker as a soundbar. And both speakers have a nice IPX4 seal. Right under that, we have our battery compartments. Press down our little buttons here. They both open up. Batteries are very easy to take out and replace. Here's the JBL's battery. And the Samsung. Also IPX4 sealed. Keep those nice and watertight. And then we have our nice base ports. The Samsung has a rounded base port, while the JBL has more of an oval base port. They both kind of go in and up. And then we have our 12-volt power adapter ports here at the bottom on both of them. And then finally, we have our wheels here at the bottom. As you can see on the JBL, it has more of like a futuristic looking design with a nice little rim there in the middle, JBL logo there in the center, versus on a Samsung, they're more like a rugged looking wheel with some tire tracks on it, no logo or anything there in the middle. But I think both of them work very well, and they do have kind of like a thick sidewall on them, and they're good for pretty much any terrain. Now to the bottom of the speakers, you'll notice they both have 4 rubberized feet to help keep them in place when you're placing them on the ground, so they're not just sliding all over the place. However, the JBL's pads are a little bit thicker, and I think it helps to keep it in place a bit better. Plus, the JBL also has the spot on the bottom right here, which exposes a speaker stand mount, which the Samsung is lacking. They also both have handles there to help you be able to pick the speakers up, but I kind of like the positioning of the one on the Samsung a bit better. It just makes it easier to grab it and move it around. Versus the JBL, you have to actually have it grilled down in order for the handle to work correctly. And I just really don't like holding my speaker that way. Over onto the top panels, you'll notice that on the JBL, it's much more minimalistic versus the Samsung. There's just tons of buttons and knobs. Now, when I first got the JBL PartyBox 330, I really did not like this top panel layout at all, but it has kind of grown on me. You can pretty much do whatever you need with the buttons here, just using the menu button, as you can see here. Switch between play, pause, and volume, over to lighting, or check your battery. And if you had a microphone plugged in, you can also control the mic volume from there as well. Versus over here on a Samsung, I mean, it pretty much just has knobs and buttons for everything, even for sound effects. But that's not really a deal breaker for me, and I still prefer the JBL's panel overall. If you are interested in finding out more about all the different knobs and buttons on both of these top panels, you can go ahead and check out the full reviews, which I will have linked in the description. The Samsung also has a spot where you can place your phone or your tablet. However, since it is rather thin, I'm not really sure what you're going to be able to get into that space. Taking a look at the handles and the wheels, if you come over here, you'll notice that on the Samsung, it actually has 2 handles. So it has this handle right here. It does make it easy to kind of like move it around if you need to. And then you also have your telescopic handle. Just like on the JBL, you also have a telescopic handle. Now, originally, I thought that the handle on the Samsung was not quite as good as the JBL one, but then when I have them side by side, this is kind of really shaky. I mean, they're both kind of really shaky. Neither one of them feels like super solid. They both lock into place, like various places. So that is convenient that it could do that. However, this handle can definitely pinch your fingers while the JBL handle cannot. So definitely bear in mind that the Samsung handle is a finger pincher and be very careful with that. Now, as far as like rolling them around, let's see here. I mean, they both feel pretty much the same for rolling them around. No really big difference there. The wheels are cool on both of them. They both have a nice thick sidewall. And I think the treads are just fine. I mean, you can pretty much use these on any surface. And obviously, if you're going to be dragging these things through parking lots, don't expect your wheels to look pretty because they're just going to get torn up eventually. But I think handles and wheels on both of them are roughly the same and they'll work just fine. Just to take a quick look here inside of the apps on both of them, the Samsung has the Sound Tower app and the JBL has the JBL One app. They both pretty much have all of the different features and settings here. Like you control the lights here on the Samsung here at the top versus on the JBL, you got light control. We have Effects Lab on the JBL. We have DJ Booth on the Samsung. We also have EQs on both of them that you can select. So over here on the JBL, you click on custom. We have 7-band EQs. We also have different EQ modes on both of them. I mean, pretty much they have all of the same settings. The biggest difference is just going to be where you're going to find the settings to each one of the apps. So if you are interested in finding out more about either one of these apps, I will have links to the full video reviews in the description where you'll be able to check them out. So I just wanted to show you what these speakers look like while playing some music in a darkened room. So go ahead and hit it, DJ. Going over the specifications, starting with the audio, both speakers have 1-inch dome tweeters. However, the PartyBox 330 has the pen domes. They also both have two 6.5-inch woofers. 330 comes in at 280 watts of power, while the Samsung has 240 watts of power. Frequency response on the 330 is going to be 40 Hz to 20 kHz, while the Samsung is not specified. Surprisingly enough, the Samsung is coming in at a higher weight at 40.5 pounds, while the JBL is just 37.7 pounds. And the dimensions on the Samsung are also bigger on every dimension. We have 29 inches tall by 13.9 inches wide by 14.4 inches deep, while on the JBL we have 26.08 inches tall, 13.15 inches wide, and 14.76 inches deep. So the Samsung is a little bit bigger on every single dimension. Charge time for the Samsung is 3.5 hours, while the JBL is 3 hours, and they both supposedly give you up to 18 hours of battery life. I don't think that's really accurate for either one of them because pretty much everybody's going to be blasting these speakers. You're not going to have it in the corner just whispering. So those 18 hours are going to be cut down by quite a bit. The JBL does have Bluetooth 6.0, while the Samsung is still on the 5.4 Bluetooth version. They both have Auracast. However, the Auracast on the Samsung is a specific Auracast that only works for sound towers, and you can connect up to 10 of them. USB-C on the 330, USB-A on the Samsung. Both have 3.5mm aux, quarter-inch mic slash guitar jacks. But the Samsung has RCA in and out rather than the 3.5mm daisy chain ports on the JBL. The JBL also does offer an optical in if you want to connect it to your TV and use it as a soundbar. The app used on the Samsung is the Samsung Sound Tower app, while the JBL uses the JBL One app. Both are IPX4 rated, but the JBL does have more features. It has AI Sound Boost, which allows you to play it at high volumes without damaging your speaker. It also has Smart EQ, which attempts to play all music as loud as possible at all volume levels. They both have telescopic handles and removable battery. However, the JBL is the only one that can use the EasySync mics, while the Samsung Sound Tower does have vocal removal. It doesn't really work that well. The JBL also has a 10-minute quick charge, which gives you up to 2 hours of playtime. And current price at the time of filming for the Samsung is $499 while the JBL is $629. Now we're going to play a few tracks for you guys so you can see how these speakers compare to one another. They're both going to be playing at 60% volume with deep bass or bass boost 1 on the JBL and punchy bass, or what I believe is the best and deepest bass on the Samsung. We're also going to be throwing in an additional bass boosted track set for you guys so you can see how the bass sounds on both of these speakers, and it will be playing on AC power. So please just sit back and enjoy the music.
night, 'cause they move from the light. Am I even real, even real? Everywhere I look, I'm starting to feel time is eating me alive, me alive. Drowning in my life. Who am I? Time is eating keep dreaming, but my dreams keep flying away. A song we're far beyond. Keep chasing them and I never rest for a day. There's something I don't do. I feel the wind blowing my face, but that's alright. I smile at people passing by. Some smile back, some might not. I'm always looking for a shade when it's hot. I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. Got down feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a plus 4. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a plus 4. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. There's a beauty in the way you're worn, and the sharpness of your thorns. So vibrant in the imperfections. In the pain, there's something real. All that anger so concealed. Still you're lost in how to feel. Just let me hold that severed heart. Your pieces feel so cold. The tears won't bring it back to life. But hate will always grow. Yeah, gold on the teeth, smile like a glitch, hand out a check, other hand switch. Yeah, yeah. Private jet land quiet on the runway. Selfie with a kid posted by Monday. Kevin say love contracts they own. Sign with a wing, turn the village into stone. Glass tower, look down on the flood. Press a big button, turn dead in the mud. Every new crisis, brand new scheme. They bottle up pain and they sell you the dream. Photo I hug, that's a new crown. PR team paint halos downtown. They buy up truth, then they rent it back. Paper thin halos printed in black. Paper sight, stacking in the shadows while the halo shine. Paper sight, throw a little charity, they rob you blind. Paper sight, smile for the camera, hands in the tail.
So for my final thoughts between a Samsung Sound Tower MX-ST50F and a JBL PartyBox 330, let's just first start off with the build quality. I think build quality between the two speakers is about equal, so it's kind of a tie there. As far as features, the JBL PartyBox 330 does have the AI sound boost as well as the smart EQ, while the Samsung doesn't really have any smart or AI features, so I think the JBL definitely wins there for features. As far as karaoke goes, I like the top panel for karaoke on the Samsung. However, the vocal removal doesn't really work that well, and it does not support the EasySync mics. So I have to say, since the JBL PartyBox 330 supports EasySync mics, that the JBL would win for karaoke as well. As far as lighting goes, I really like the lighting on a Samsung, and while the lighting on the JBL is cool, I have to say the Samsung really wins on lighting. Even this handle light right here is a really nice touch, and overall, I just like the lighting better on a Samsung. As far as sound quality is concerned, I think the JBL PartyBox 330 has the advantage, especially with those pen dome tweeters, since they give much more brightness and clarity to the overall sound of the speaker. This works really well in outdoor environments where the sound is just projected a lot further. Now, even though the Samsung does have the waveguide technology, really all that means is that the front tweeters are angled out a bit to help fill the space, but it's just nothing in comparison with the pen domes of the JBL PartyBox 330. And as far as bass is concerned, they both do have the 6.5-inch woofers, but the 330 just has a lot more bass to it. The bass is a lot more powerful. You can feel it in your chest more. It vibrates the room more. Versus the Samsung, it really tries, and I really wanted to like it for the bass, but it just cannot compete with the JBL PartyBox 330. So overall winner, JBL PartyBox 330. And if you are interested in picking either one of these speakers up, I will have a link in the description where you'll be able to get them from. And if you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links, since anything you purchase does generate a small revenue for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.